So good morning, welcome to Trading with Bulls. I just want to speak about something I always talk about, trading ER to ER, and the frustrations as most of us had if you're trying to buy Netflix to play earnings this week and why the contracts were expensive. So I want people to change how they, not just to be focusing on day trades. If you want to play ER, let's say we knew Netflix last time from ER, this ER, it was bearish. So from this ER to this ER, if you got puts, you're buying time, you're buying 3 months out. You're saying you won't be bothered by this pullback. Or when this pullback happens, you're going to add more contracts. Okay, so from this ER, you're saying I'm buying puts. If this stock keeps trending down, I'll sell when it's done for the next year. So from when it hit 495, it dropped all the way to 344. So you're saying I'm buying here, you're buying 3 months out. When you have such pullbacks, you can add more contracts if the trend is continuing. Okay. Now, from when it was reporting in October, you're saying I'm buying again, excuse me, you're buying again 3 months out. So if somebody was buying a contract when it was at 344, you're saying I'm buying, it's bullish, it's stopped being bearish, I'm buying to the next earnings. You're buying 3 months out. You will not be having, that's why those contracts were not dropping, because Netflix has been bullish since October. It moved from 344 to 480. Then we had this shallow pullback, and then it went up, shallow pullback. So you're saying, I'm holding up to the next ER. You're not selling. When you have this pullback, you can buy again. But the reason these contracts, you could not look at them, you had to go way out of the money, was because it's been bullish from October all the way to now. It's still bullish. And that's what I'd said when we talked about Netflix. I'd said the whole of last week, it was not doing anything. So a move is coming, and you're seeing the move happening. Now, if you are somebody who wants to look at stocks ER to ER, and some stocks, we've seen some stocks that are not the best, but we've seen stocks that are, if they're bullish post-ER, establish the trend post-ER, buy 3 months out. You're saying I'm holding ER to ER, but this where you're waiting the day off to buy, that's why you couldn't look at Netflix both ways. Both puts and calls were both expensive. You had to go way out of the money. So this is why I usually say, establish the trend post-ER, buy time. I've been talking about this ever since you guys have known me, especially for stocks that they usually trend from one ER to the next, so that you're not struggling on this last day to try to buy, to get in. You can imagine if you're buying in at 344. So when these earnings up happened, you would have bought, yes, you're fine. You're fine. You would have bought for, if you're saying you're gambling for this year, you would have bought calls maybe that week or 2 weeks out, and also buy to the next year, because we knew something was supposed to happen. It was either going to continue down. So if you had puts, you're holding a runner, and then you're buying for the next earning, for the next week, for that if you're gambling, because here calls were really cheap. Okay, but this waiting the day off, some of these stocks you can't afford. You'll have to buy way out of the money. And if they get caught by IV crash, you don't make any money. But somebody who bought here, even if you have an IV crash, you're not going to be affected that much, because those contracts were still up. Even if you're buying from 344, you're saying I'm buying a 450 or a 500 call, or even out of the money, you buy different strike price. They were so cheap because it had been bearish for 3 months. Okay, so we are going into earnings season again. So after this, if now for people who had, if you bought time and you're holding, you're also buying an extra. You're not just buying the week it's reporting, you're buying another. You're buying different strike price so that if the trend continues, you can take some profit and still hold. Then now we need again to start establishing the trend post-ER. If by any chance we get a shallow pullback or a slight pullback, you're buying in and you're planning for the next earnings in April. We've seen some stocks, ER to ER. Those that you see, they have a good history. Like Netflix is one of them, ER to ER. Apart from January, the beginning of the year, it went up, but this was not bad because from February, we usually bearish the month of February. It went down all the way to March, and then it started going up. After that,
with the eights, when you have the lunch after, like the eights have
No,
lunch.
then you have a lunch. I had lunch.
okay, so ER, we had this, it pull back, then 285 you're buying, you're also buying time for these earnings. If we had nothing, like here we had nothing happening and then it started going up, you're buying 3 months to the next earnings, especially stocks that usually have a good established trend ER to ER. Okay, so yeah, we were trying to see if contracts will go down, but they didn't because it's been bullish from this ER to this ER. So if you want to trade earnings, just plan. And I said, have at least 3 different platforms. You have a platform where you're doing your day trades, and Thinkorswim is really good, or even Webull for day trades. Then have another platform where you're having those long contracts that you don't look at. You're saying, I'm holding this from ER to ER. You're not looking at them. You've bought time. You're leaving it there. And then you can have those, you have medium swing, like those people who are doing weekly swings or you're doing monthly swings, have them there. But the minute you're having all your transactions you're doing in one platform, of course, when you see money, you run with it. So from now, let's plan. We are going into another ER season. And when we are done, now we want to again establish the trend post-ER. After we get the trend, you're buying 3 months out. And you're saying if this trend is keep going, even if we have a shallow pullback, you're not selling because you bought time, you have time and you've bought, you don't go just way out of the money. You have to be realistic and you're just buying time. So right now we can't even afford to look at calls. We have to wait and see what happens if we keep on with the trend. If anyone who had money and they got, now make money to make, you need to make money to make money. Okay, if you're gambling Netflix, they were contracts that were cheap, but you had to go slightly out of the money. Okay. So after we establish the trend post-ER, you again buy time to the next ER. So I'll be trying, I've posted levels post-ER. I'm posting long-term levels, monthly, weekly, so that if that stock is moving post-ER, you establish the trend, you will be buying ER to ER. There's some stocks that still we don't know, something like FedEx. Okay. So we had it drop. So here it was halfway bearish, then halfway bullish. Then it dropped post-ER. So we still don't know if it wants to go down or it wants to go back up. So when you establish the trend, when the trend is established, then you're buying time to the next ER. And you're saying, you're not gonna be bothered with any pullback. Wewe, woka pale to disturb mommy. Shika. Okay. So something like FedEx, you're still watching it to see what is the trend. Okay. Semiconductors, we know they've been bullish. So something like SML, LRCX. So this one has been bullish from ER. The last ER, it was bearish, the entire ER from July all the way to October. We were bearish, this month were bearish. And then you're saying, I want to trade SML. So pick the stocks you want to trade. You have to pick stocks that usually have an established trend. They usually run 3 months. Don't find those stocks that go sideways. You want to have one that is trending and has an established trend. So from when it was at 596, you're buying 3 months out. When you have this pullback, if you can, the pullbacks you have, you're buying now another expiry or another strike price, because the one you bought here at the bottom, you're not touching it. You're saying this one is from ER to ER. So if this move continues, you can take some profit just before earnings, since you don't want to lose anything. Then you can leave those runners and then say, this was if the trend continues, I'm going to sell post ER. Okay, so all these stocks that are about to apart from Tesla, okay, Tesla is the one we didn't have it was bearish. It was bearish the previous ER. Then from 194, it started going up, and then it rejected 265. So with Tesla, if you had bought puts here and say, I'm going to hold these puts to ER, so you can take some profit, and then you're leaving a runner in case we have this trend continuing, then you can sell post year. You always take some profit and leave some runners. Now, if it is going up, you can hedge your put with a call. And then that way you've made money with this move pre-ER. And then if you're leaving a runner, if the trend continues down, you'll have taken some profit, you're leaving a runner, and then you're buying a hedge. You're using your profit, some of your profit, to hedge with a call in case this trend reverses and goes back up. Okay. So all these semiconductors, we know they've been bullish. LRCX is the same thing. You can't wait a stock that from this ER, it was bearish and then started going up. So from 574, you can't wait to buy at 7. It's at almost 840 something. So you're buying here, buying to this ER. Okay. The ones with established trend, ER to ER. Please, let's try and change how we are doing things this year. We can't just be waiting for this day. You want to ask me, Virginia, are you gambling? Here you'll be saying, I have my calls. I have runners. You're taking some profits just before earnings. If this trend continues to the day of reporting earnings, you're taking some profits. Then you're leaving some runners. And if you want to hedge, you can hedge. But if it's a strong trend, you're just leaving your runners. You take your profit, leave some runners. You have contracts expiring the week it's reporting earnings, and you have some more contracts. If the trend continues, you still have you're buying another week or even 2 weeks out, so that you're holding. If this trend keeps going on, you're holding. You're not selling everything here. You can hold some more to keep on with the trend. Okay, so right now, that's why I said try to look at stocks ER, establish the trend post-ER, buy time. ISRG, the same thing. Okay. So you want to buy the day here, and we had this post-ER, and we talked about ISRG, and you said ISRG is a good stock. When it establishes the trend, you can even find in the chart, I said the same thing. When it establishes the trend, it moves. Okay, so here it was bearish, pullback, continue down. This one was bullish. So those good stocks that trend from ER to ER, ISRG, Netflix, some of these big tech stocks are the same. Okay, like here it was halfway, it was bearish, then went into post year, continued with the bearish trend. So that's why I'm saying you can buy outside more time so that if the trend continues, you're holding. Or if we have some pullback here, you're buying more time. Then here it started going back up. You're saying I'm buying, you're buying into this year, and then you're buying more time if the trend continues. So since March, this stock has been bullish. From March 2023, went all the way to this ER in July. So from March to July. Then from here, it was bearish. From last year in July, all the way to October, we were bearish. And then from October to now, it's bullish. So you're not waiting for this day. You're buying here. At least have a platform where you're holding contracts. You're saying this is totally meant for earnings. Earnings are just 3 months. Somebody might think, somebody was saying, oh, ER was just the other day. It's just 3 months. From one ER to the next is 3 months. And we know stocks, of course, when you establish the trend, the structure is bullish. The market structure here is bullish. So it's creating higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. So there's no way you can expect that stock to just go up, rocket up without any pullback. So that's why you're buying time and you're saying, I will not mind pullback. But if after every pullback, buy. No, BTFD. Buy every pullback, buy, because the trend is you've established the trend is bullish. So the trend is higher high, higher low. Any pullback, buy in. Any pullback, buy in, and it's buying to the next year, and you're buying others in outside this date, so that if the trend continues, you still have contracts you're holding. Okay, so please now, this is what you need to do. All these stocks are reporting earnings. If you look at most of them, they have established trend. Anything that is reporting, except for Tesla and maybe a few stocks, but most of them have an established trend. Look at V, ER to ER. I prefer MA, but V moves slowly. If the trend is bullish, it will just keep on moving. It's not the best trend. So here it was trending sideways, then it went up, sideways, went up, then it had this pullback, and then finally it established a trend. It was bullish. It was just creating higher lows, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Then it pulled back here, still a higher low. Then it's just been going. It's been bullish ever since, I don't know, 174. So it's been bullish since October 2022. It's just not a pretty chart. It just keeps going up, pull back, you're buying. Pull back, you're buying. It is bullish. It's creating higher lows and higher highs. But this time, it's just been a clean bullish trend from here to here. So from 227, it's at 270. So you're not struggling here is when you want to, everybody wants to buy. Please, can we change how we are doing things? I know I've been talking about this ER to ER. Establish the trend. You don't have to wait for anyone to tell you buy this contract. You will know your account. You know how much money you have. You pick the stocks you know that have established trend. You're buying, you're holding. Okay. Now, if you look at this, so something that reported, I don't like this stock because it's this is the difference. Okay, so this one, 17, this J&J reported, we don't have a clear established trend. So this one, there is no clear trend. It's consolidating, shallow, goes up, consolidate, goes up. So this one is not a clean one. You want to find those clean stocks with a clear trend. Okay, so something like UNH, we know what UNH was doing. It was consolidating for so long. So this is not a good one. You want to find one that has an established trend, that you can identify the trend. A strong trend is one you can predict. You can predict this stock is creating higher lows, higher highs. You can see the market structure. It's creating higher lows, higher highs. So this one was going sideways. We still don't, it's bearish. Since it hit 554 is bearish. Post ER, it still has, it goes down, pull back, goes down, pull back. So we still don't have an established trend. The minute it establishes a trend, then you want to trade it. You're buying from that time, you're buying to the next one, but it has to establish a trend. It hasn't been doing so well. Look at this. Since this is 2022. So 558 it hasn't been doing so well. So such stocks you avoid. Okay. Meta. Okay. So this is another example. It's reporting in February, but it's been bullish from this year. So you're buying time. And if every pullback creates a higher low, you're buying. You're making sure you're buying outside this date. Every pullback you're buying. Okay, if you're getting them at a discount, you're buying outside this date. Don't just be focusing on everyday scalping and weeklies. If you want to trade ER to ER, find stocks with an established trend. So this one has a bullish, is on an uptrend, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Every pullback you're buying, and you're buying time. It will make your trading earnings very easy. When other people are struggling, you're just securing profit. Every pullback you're buying more time, because this has an established trend. Okay, so you'll see, look at several tech stocks. I don't know which ones are reporting. So we know Snow has been giving us, it is consolidating. So we had looked at this, it needed to break this 201. I said it needs to stay above 200, and it broke above this 202 previous high. Okay, so we know it has this time, February 29th. You're looking at it, you want to see. If it is continuing, you're buying a contract on this week, and then you're buying time, so that you're not struggling. Anybody who bought at 138 to this year, it kept going on, and here it's consolidating. When you establish that trend, you want to trade it before. So now you should be looking at stocks reporting earnings next month, and March, you establish the trend. Okay? I don't know what else is reporting in the near. Okay, so AVGO, we still have time. So now you're looking for stocks that still have time that are reporting in February and March. If this trend keeps going on, you have contracts. Right now, very difficult to buy some of these stocks. They're so expensive. Okay, so this one is reporting next week. So we had it was consolidating since last year, but this has been a good stock to trade even when it's consolidating. Like here, post year went down, then we had this consolidation, it broke out slightly, then went back up, broke these, rejected we were aiming for 317 and 356, so it finally broke it. So from this time, if somebody is holding long, the problem with this one, it pulls back hard. So every pullback you're trying to buy. I had said SMCI is the new AVGO. Every pullback, buy. Every pullback, buy. Okay? And it had yesterday, it barely moved. It had an inside bar. And because SML is reporting, so of course today we are watching what semiconductors are doing. So yesterday it had an inside bar. So we want to see if it will keep on. It's already up pre-market. We want to see if this trend will keep moving on. So SML has reported, and it's up. So you're looking at other semiconductors. This one has an inside bar. It didn't move much. AVGO also has an inside bar. NVIDIA is the one I'll be worried buying time, but it is being bullish. So NVIDIA also has an inside bar. So yesterday they didn't make the range. And if you count, I said yesterday, if you count these days, you will see the reason why you're having such a move. Okay. So this one, since last year, it pulled back, went up. We had this consolidation in January. You're buying. Okay. So if somebody wants to say, I'm going to buy, I have contracts until February or end of February, I'm holding, want to see how this trend continues. If there's any pullback or where you want to secure some profit, you secure. If there's a pullback and you're getting contracts at a cheaper rate, you're buying into this ER. So please learn to be trading to ER date. Whenever you are getting a discount, you're buying into the next year, like that. It will make trading earnings very easy. If in your platform, you're only having weeklies, I've said this before, if in your platform, you only have weeklies, then there's a problem. You're a person who is only focusing on short term, or even you're a day trader. So it becomes easy when you want to start now, you want to trade ER because you missed getting those contracts at a discount. Okay, so right now, start looking at stocks reporting. The whole of February, and March, establish the trend. Anything that still has time to the next year, establish the trends. Things like now GS reported. We want to establish the trend for GS. Okay, the minute it establishes a trend, you start saying ER to ER. Okay, those ones that have reported. Those ones that have not, Alta is still not breaking this 493, so it's still going sideways. The minute you establish a trend, see here, it was bullish. So here it was bearish, came to 368, lost over 100 points, and then it started being bullish. You're buying here, you're buying into the next year, or even more time. So you'd have take profit here. When it started consolidating, you're taking your profit. Now we still don't have an established trend. The minute you establish the trend, we might get a move. Some stocks go midway to the next year, the trend starts going. So the minute you establish a trend, you can have a pre-ER move. Either it's going down or it's going up. You catch that. Okay? So those are the time you guys have. Please spend some of those time to look for, to do analysis ER to ER. Okay? So now these stocks had listed yesterday with the strategy. Oh, sorry, GS. The strategy was it needs to try to go back up to this level. Either it was going to retest 392 or reject it, and then you get puts. You don't get puts at support. You wait for you get puts at resistance. So you're waiting for this to pull back. If it doesn't go to this level, 386, 392 is when you're getting a put. Okay, so now we are watching for it. So you're here, it had already started moving down, so we were waiting for it to go back up. It didn't do in March yesterday. It was going sideways. So you're still waiting. You're not getting puts then. You get puts at resistance. We wait for it to try to go up. If it rejects this level, 386 and 392, then you're buying the puts for the trend down. So that was the same thing even for ASML. It was the move up, and then it was either to break this level, create a higher high, but we were supposed to get a move down. Okay, that's for GS, ASML, and I don't know what else. Now for Tesla, those ones you are watching for a bullish, for them to reverse and go back up. Okay, so for those, we are looking for, what do you? So those ones we're looking for double bottom. Okay, double bottom or a higher low. Okay, if they go up, they need to break, like Tesla needs to be above. I've given the levels in the ER channel. So it needs to be above 223 or 220 something for it to be to have that bullish move to go to 250. If it stays below this, then we're going to 200. So far, it's the day I'd said Tesla. The minute it approaches 212, it becomes even weaker and weaker. The day it approached or touched this day, 212, it has been creating lower low. So we had this pullback, lower low. Then it pulled back here, lower high. So looking for lower high, 219 here, and this was 217, lower high. You're writing it down, went to 206. Yesterday, it was 215, another lower high, went down, but instead of going to break 206, it created a higher low. Okay, so now we want to see if it will continue up to go to break 222, 223. If not, then we are getting that it will continue down to break this level to go below 200 and that. But now for such a stock that didn't have an established trend, it didn't have like, okay, it's been bearish. We didn't have a clear established trend. It's been bearish. Then we had consolidation. Then we have this continuation. These are the ones you can gamble both ways because we don't know. It is overbought. We are anticipating it to go up. But if you had puts, you're holding your puts as runners and then you're hedging with a call because we didn't have a clear established trend. Okay. So that's for Tesla. Now this one is also reporting. It's been bullish. So you're buying ER to ER from 140. It hit 188. That's over 40 points pullback. So this pullback, you'll be saying, if this trend continues, you're buying time, you're still buying, or the ones you're holding, you're saying, I don't care about this pullback because you bought to this date or outside this date. So you're taking your profit, some profit here, and then you're leaving a runner. Okay, because the trend is established. This is another good one. It's like EXPE, American Express. From this year, it was bearish, 178, 140. Okay, from this year, it was bearish, continued slightly, then started going up. This one bearish and now bullish. So such stocks that have established trend, you are buying time to the ER. Okay, so your homework now is to look for stocks reporting in February and March. Start early from year to year, or those stocks. Wait. Oh. Those stocks that have go wake up your sister. So you guys have to excuse me. This is my office, and my office includes a tiny assistant. Orange. Yeah, thank you. Orange. Do another color. Orange. Okay, that's orange. So AXP is reporting Friday pre-market. Orange. Okay. So Friday pre-market. So from now, look at stocks that are reporting. Hold on. Sorry for that. So now you're looking for stocks from ER to ER. Anything with an established trend, buy time to the next ER. Okay. I don't know. Anyone knows any stock reporting next week? Now, Leroy. So this one, ER is being bullish. ABT, I'd mentioned about this stock last time it was reporting earnings. So it's not a big ATR, but you can see from last year it was bearish. So from 115, you got to get established the trend bearish, get puts, you'd have sold here. Then from last year, in September, it's been bullish. After this consolidation became bullish. So you'll be buying here 94. It has gone, it needs to go back retest 115. Okay. So now if such a stock just has a small move and it had hit 114, so it had almost retested this level, it's very risky to start trying to gamble such a stock because it's not a stock that moves 20 points, but you would have had an opportunity to be in that play since November 10th all the way to here. So you'd be taking some profit, leaving a runner. Okay. I hope you guys are seeing the difference of trading ER to ER rather than waiting the day off. If you have money to gamble the day off, please go ahead. But if you want to take advantage, you are in a play for months, 3 months, then you are trading ER to ER. So identify those stocks that usually have an established trend. They are the best. Okay, they're the best. You see EXP, it's another one. So from this year, it's been bullish. It hit 156, it's now consolidating. So it's reporting in February. So look at it. The minute it either breaks out of 154, it will continue up, or 145, it will move down to ER. So you still have time to catch. If you're catching that move, the minute it makes a decision. Okay. So now please look for those stocks. There are so many stocks reporting earnings. I can't do this by myself. The good thing is from ER, establish a trend, buy time. If a stock was bearish, it has changed, change of character. It becomes bullish, you're buying time to this ER. Excuse me. Okay, so that's for ER plays. Please change how you do things this year. Can you imagine you're holding a contract for 3 months? They are accumulating money. You know, your contracts are growing. You're securing some profits. You're still leaving the ones you're playing ER to ER. So make sure you're not just buying one contract. You're buying a couple of contracts that you can take profit. And then when you have a pullback and the trend is still bullish, or the trend is still bearish, you're buying more contract, different expiry, different strike price. Okay. Now, this is also usually, it goes mostly hand in hand. You will see some of the stocks, August, September, October, usually bearish months. And you can see some of the stocks who are doing the same thing. The earnings from August to October, some stocks were bearish. But these earnings from November, we know November, December, January are bullish months. So most stocks, you would see the ones reporting in January have been bullish since November. Okay, so if we know that about the trend, history repeating itself, August, September, October, usually bearish months, you would see more stocks, they were bearish during those months when they reported earnings. The minute we hit November, they started being bullish. So the stocks, some of them reporting October, they became bullish, and they've been bullish up to January. Okay, so now I can't promise the same trend to continue in February because historically, February and March are usually bearish months. Okay, so it's easy. We know those trends during those months. From April to July, bullish months. August, October, bearish months. November, January, bullish months. So we know that can be easy to, you find stocks that you know can hold a trend, then you pick on them, buy time to the next year. Okay. Now, Chinese stocks, I talked about them. I've been frustrated with them, and I'm like, they are supposed to be reversing and being bullish. Okay. So I'll stop early today. Chinese stocks, PDD is the only one it needs to break 149. I've given the levels for Baidu and Baba that they need to break. PDD looks like it's having a hard time breaking that 149. So watch Chinese. They are supposed to have a turnaround, be bullish. Give it at least 3 days. Anytime a stock has a change of character, give it 3 days. Okay, so from the day we saw this Chinese stock making a move, you can hold your swings, or if there's a pullback you're buying, because you're giving it at least 3 days. Okay, so we started seeing some move with the Baidu from Monday. You're buying here, you're giving it at least 3 days. So the minute you see a stock has a change of character, give it at least 3 days. You're trading that same trend. Okay. Irene, I have to go. These babies are becoming crazy. Any questions? Anyone with a question? So I'll try post the levels, monthly levels for earnings every Saturday for stocks reporting that week. But please make it an effort to look at stocks with a trend, established trend. You're trading ER to ER. Okay. Okay. So after this, so we had an insight by yesterday. Many stocks didn't move much yesterday. Okay, we had 1, 2, 3. Then on day 4, so the day of the multiple of 3 or the day after, usually those 3 days in between, either if a stock is not breaking another level, you'll have an inside bar or 2 inside bars, then we get a move. So this is, inside bars are usually a constriction. A constriction is usually followed by an expansion. So it's either continuation, we've been bullish, or to the upside, or bearish. Now, we don't have so many tech stocks, not so many of them are moving so much. Maybe with Netflix moving, we might have some good movement today with a SPY. That depends. If text and Netflix keep on with the trend up, but if it pulls back, then we might have SPY pulling back before we continue up. Now, text semiconductor stocks. Okay, this is different because we have ASML is moving, other semiconductor stocks are going up. Okay, so this one had given the levels for QQQ. We needed to go above, I think 430 or 431 or something. So we want to see if this will go on because of the stocks that have reported earnings. ASML is going to affect the other semiconductor stocks. So today, key plays are NVIDIA. I've posted the levels. NVIDIA, SMCI, EVGO, ASML. We want to see if it will keep going up. LRCX, which is reporting today after market close. Okay. I'd mentioned Roku, Zoom, and Oracle last week. They look like they wanted to move up. Okay, so we know this is what, the minute you're seeing a stock, and this is what I say, always on the daily, time those change of character. You see the day change of character happened on Friday. And that's when I mentioned, look at Roku on this. The minute you're seeing a change of character, don't miss trading the next day. And if it keeps on with the trend, now you're expecting at least 3 days after a change of character. Plan for 3 days. You're looking at that same stock, 3 days. Because you know, even if it's a pullback, it's supposed to be 3 days. If it keeps going on, then you have 6 days. So the minute you have a stock having a change of character, don't miss the next day, and then anticipate the same trend for 3 days. So this same stock, you're looking at it 3 consecutive days. If it's creating like here, this one. So we had, the day it had a change of character, okay? So you're looking at it, pull back, higher low, get calls. 86, 88, get calls. After a change of character, look at the same stock for at least 3 days. So here it had an inside bar. You're looking at it again because you will catch the same stock and move at least 3 days trending that direction after it had a change of character. Okay, if you want to find it easy place, that's how you find them. The minute you have a change of character, that's the stock to trade. You can hold after a pullback. You want to trade the same stock for continuation. Okay, so this one VIV, we know it's supposed to go to 220. It hit rejected 210, hit 209. We had 2 inside bars. Even if it has 3 inside bars, we know this trend has been common. Our stock is bullish, first inside bar, second inside bar, buy call for continuation. So it pulled back from 201. It is at 211. So please look for these things on the daily. Very easy to find you for those people who want to find swings. Our stock is trending up, first inside bar, second inside bar, get calls. That constriction, a continuation of the same, we already had a change of character, it's still going up. It had a shallow pullback. It has been bullish. This one, ER, you would be holding. The next ER is in February. Okay. So ER to ER, if you're trading weeklies or you want to find stocks to swing, look for those stocks trending up, inside bar, get calls. So from okay. So those days it made an inside bar, another inside bar. If it's a higher low, you're waiting for it to create a higher low. So we have 200, and then it had a 201 higher low, get calls, went to 210. So you're holding. You see if it's gonna break the previous high or go to a level that you're anticipating it to go. Like now we're waiting for it to go to 220. Very easy to find plays. The ones with an established trend, change of character. Okay. Sawa sawa. I keep saying this again, and it's very easy. Okay, so we see here the same pattern is, you will see it again and again. We are bullish. Inside bar, higher low, get a call. Hold at least 3 days. Now here another, we have a doji. So if we guess this and another inside bar, higher low, get calls for continuation. So always anticipate that break. Stocks can't just go flying up and up. This is to give a break. But as long as it's creating a higher low, it's an inside bar, you want that constriction, especially anything giving you 2 constriction days, 2 inside bars, is a stock that is telling you it wants to continue with the trend. Okay. So anytime you're seeing the market is not moving, please anticipate it's creating an anticipate for inside bar, If nothing happens the next day, you're getting another inside bar, and then we get continuation. Mostly it's just 2 inside bars or sometimes 3. When it's more than 3, that stock is now going sideways. Okay. LMT post ER, I don't know if anyone looked at it yesterday. I said it was going to be a good play. I didn't think it was going to hold up, and it didn't hold, but it was a good play post ER. Okay, it didn't go up. So somebody asked me and I said, I don't think it's going to hold up. Okay, it has been struggling. Went to 472. When the market opened, it had a shallow pullback here to 460 or something. Then it just dropped. Okay, bearish. All these points, the whole from 1 hour after market open, it was just dropping all the way to 1 hour to market close. So post ER, any post ER, any stock that has reported earnings, it is a key play that day. Okay, I know Netflix, you guys might be saying, oh, it's something, but we'll see what happens to those puts. If we get a pullback, if the puts have become cheaper, they can be good to play pullback. Or if it's still continuing up, you can get some calls out of the money. Okay, so any stock that was reported earnings is a key play. Any stock reporting earnings that day, like Tesla, LRCX, it's a key play. Okay, so I'd said we want at least one way to be crushed. So I hope this move will crush those puts, because puts were expensive. Even when you went out of the money, the puts were like 600, 500. It didn't make sense. So I hope this move will crush the puts. So anytime we were trying to play a pullback, we can be able to afford to get those puts. But if they're still expensive, I don't know. Something has to happen. So we want one move that will crush one side. Okay. Now, still we're looking at FSLR and ENPH. So the same, they were supposed to go up like here. So this one was 159. This was 157. So this was a good scalping. Lower high, 149. We needed to break this previous support on Monday, 147. Okay, the minute it breaks that 147, we'll get continuation. But at the moment, it will try. You buy puts at the top. So if you play this, you get taking profit because it rejected this. So don't force it to go down. It is communicating. The minute is rejecting 147, it will go back up. If it doesn't go to 157 or 159, get puts until it breaks this level. It needs to break 147 for you to be confident to hold puts. Otherwise, take profit at any rejection. After pullback, buy back in. Okay, I don't know when these stocks are reporting earnings. We still don't have a clear established trend. February 22nd. So we will be tracking this one's reporting February. So this one, we had it going sideways. It broke this, and now it's going back to, we need to watch this support 137 and 175. So those two levels, this is the support and this is the resistance. So any lower high, we're riding it down, break 147, 140, we have this 137. If it breaks above 165, then we're looking at 175. The same thing for ENPH and ZG. Okay. So any stock with an established trend reporting in February, March, you look at them and see if they're pulling back, you can buy in. Any stock reporting next week, they are potential lotos Thursday, Friday. So look at that calendar for stocks reporting next week. They're usually potential lotos Wednesday, Friday. Okay, because people are getting interested to see who is reporting next week. And then you might catch some move, lotos Thursday, Friday. Okay, so there's a lot of work to be done, guys. One person can do everything. Just when you have this knowledge, you know, ER to ER, a week before or Thursday, Friday, usually you will see stocks that are trending. In most cases, they are reporting earnings the following week. So find that calendar, look for stocks reporting next week. They can be potential lottos Friday, tomorrow, and Friday. For Irene. Okay. Where's Dell?
you.
Thank you. Dell. Umepotea. Dell, is so lost, or is he at work? Can you say hi and sign us off? If not, Dawn, sign us off. Dawn is not here. Kashiro,
Just giving Londell a
Yes,
chance.
huh?
I was just giving Londell a chance.
That's what I thought.
He's quiet. I see he's here, but he's not talking. Probably he's in a meeting.
Yeah, busy. All right, guys, let's make this money.
Okay, thank you.
Mm.